Keenan Reynolds tore up the record books his sophomore season, highlighted by a 7-touchdown showing at San Jose State.
It's going to be a lucky 7 for the Bids! Keenan Reynolds does it all, and the Bids have won it in triple overtime!
This year, a series of missteps have nearly run the midshipmen aground. It's time for Keenan to rally the troops and sail onto victory. It's a brilliant day for a reunion with San Jose State and the alumni. Welcome to homecoming in Annapolis. The Navy Midshipmen. Welcome to Annapolis and homecoming 2014 as Navy plays host to San Jose State. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. John Sadak, the College Football Hall of Famer, Randy Cross. Each team has 3 wins. Randy, this week the phrase was uttered in pursuit of bowl eligibility, must win.
Well, I don't blame them because for both these teams where they're at, they're in that situation. For Navy, it's redemption and refocus. They started this season with such lofty goals. Some of those goals still attainable, but they can't do they have to do the little things. They can't turn the ball over.
The guy who has had trouble with that this year but will try to lead them to that win, Keenan Reynolds. He has put the ball on the ground. He's had some trouble in the air. It's his first action since October the 4th when he injured his shoulder against Air Force. Last year, though, one of the best games by a quarterback running the football all time.
Yeah, just an amazing effort by Keenan Reynolds and this Navy offense. San Jose State had no idea how to stop this offense, and it eventually cost them dearly. This is a team, this is a quarterback that has to be ultra conservative with
overtime not far into this year's edition of San Jose State. That's what happened last week. More than 7,000 feet in the air at Wyoming. A win thanks to the quarterback, Joe Gray.
And Joe Gray, he can run the ball. They just don't ask him to do it that often. When you see his stats from last week, 73%, 322, couple touchdowns for the season. He is almost 70% completions. This is a guy that will hit the spot. You leave a little opening for him, he's going to drill the ball right on it.
Let's go down to the sidelines and join the third member of our broadcast crew, Sheehan Stanwork Birch, with Navy head coach Candy Amatololo.
Thanks, John. Well, Coach, you told us this week that the bye week was much needed and that your team has had some of its best practices all season. As you enter into the second half of the season, what are some of the team's strengths you want to build on?
Well, we just got to play hard. That's been our message this week. Get back to our roots, our foundation of playing hard, and that's been our goal. And just going to keep it real simple and just try to come out and play as hard as we can.
Another positive of the week off is quarterback Keenan Reynolds was able to get healthy. How did he look this week in practice?
This is the best he's looked since Ohio State, so we're excited that he's healthy.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Shane.
Well, guys, you said it. Both head coaches have echoed it. This is a must-win game as both teams try to make a push for bowl eligibility.
Thank you, Sheehan. The man who leads San Jose State now in his second campaign, Ron Carragher, former backup to Troy Aikman in his college days at UCLA. His Spartans won 6 games last year, but were shut out when it came to bowl season. It's a beautiful day. Temperatures in the low 60s. The winds have gusted at times. The flags have flown in multiple directions. Weather Service reporting 7 miles per hour.
Yeah, here in Annapolis, this is sailing weather here. Take a break for the game, go out on the bay.
Sailing capital of the world and the home of a sea of victories until this year. The team went undefeated at home last season, and until the infancy of this campaign had not lost at home since a 12-0 finish against San Jose State 2 years ago. The Spartans won the toss and deferred, so Navy gets the ball to start the contest. Austin Lopez handles kickoff duties. A dozen of his 26 have gone for touchbacks. He has booted a pair out of bounds. It's been a roller coaster season for the junior out of Texas. His boot in the air. And brought in by Damon Brown inside of his own 10. Brown tripped up at around the 22-yard line. As we meet our Chick-fil-A starting lineups. On offense for the Navy midshipman, Keenan Reynolds back. Those numbers not pristine, Randy, but they believe his mind's right and his body's right.
Yeah, getting away from football made a world of difference, I think, for this entire football team. Now this week, they are back, they are focused, and they're ready to finish this year off.
Noah Copeland comes out as the fullback. Their best wide receiver, Jameer Tillman, number 4 at the top of your screen. And the ball's on the ground. First play of the game, recovered by San Jose State, and Jimmy Pruitt, the junior out of San Diego, California, second fumble recovery of the season.
Well, I told you at the very beginning, they have to take care of the ball. If this team has any aspirations, and first junction point, the quarterback and the fullback, Keenan Reynolds goes to pull it out, fullback goes to squeeze it, ball ends up on the ground. You get this situation now for San Jose State, you've got to make them pay. You can't make them pay with a field goal. You've got to make them pay with a touchdown when they make mistakes.
There's Joe Gray, the quarterback for San Jose State. That's the 9th lost fumble this year for Navy. Entered the day 102nd in the country in that category. On the ground, Tyler Irvin. What a first down gash. Chipped down at around the 7-yard line as we meet the Chick-fil-A starting lineup for San Jose State. Joe Gray, junior out of Los Angeles, California, his 4th collegiate start. Took over the starting job in the conference opener against Nevada. He is the current Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week after that win at Wyoming last week in overtime. Motion from Tim Crawley. They give to Irvin, and he gets swarmed as soon as he gets the football by Will Anthony, who has had a fantastic junior campaign. Here's the rest of San Jose State's offense that helps out the first-year starting signal caller. Tyler Irvin, you've seen him carry the ball a few times. He's also a wide receiver, but these days is the primary running back.
He's a very good runner, but he's a much better receiver, and he's in that diamond formation, the bottom of the screen. He's the top guy.
Gray locked left side, throws left side. Incomplete, intended for Tyler Winston. He's the top target. Last year's freshman of the year in the Mountain West.
And Winston is the guy they love to go to. They get a formation, they'll load everybody, they'll man up in the other direction. It's what they did last week when they beat Wyoming. They loaded up to the left and they threw to the right.
San Jose State has won back-to-back games, bested UNLV the week before that. Here it's 3rd and goal. Reynolds learning about that giveaway. Gray again locked left side as the pressure comes. His pass picked off inside of the 5 by Quazell Bertrand. And Bertrand trucks it out to the 14. Turnover to Turtle.
Well, that was an example. I think Joe Gray was seeing ghosts down there. He's getting the pressure. He's looking at his receiver, and he's leading his guy the whole way. Good angle from here. All you see are those blue jerseys. The ball's nowhere near him, and Bertrand does a beautiful job picking it up and getting some yardage. Look at Buddy Green. A little celebration there for the defensive coordinator.
First career interception for the junior out of Tennessee. Scoreless in Annapolis.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families. By Northrop Grumman. And by Golden Corral. Right now at Golden Corral, get a tender lobster tail for just an extra $4.99. That's right, just $4.99.
Welcome back to homecoming in Annapolis. What a start. We have seen 5 total plays. We have seen 2 turnovers early.
And they were the usual for Navy. It's a junction point. Attacking the ball, not taking care of the ball. San Jose State made them pay. And then Joe Gray makes a mistake with the ball. Better to throw that into the stands than put it in harm's way the way he did.
Threw a pick that was only Navy's 6th defensively of the season. Brought in by Quazell Bertrand, who just moved to safety from cornerback this year.
I'm curious to see how San Jose State is going to attack those junction points, especially with Rosidi, number 3, up front, the defensive tackle.
Reynolds loading up on the first play of this drive, gets the completion to just beyond the 20. Jameer Tillman, the team's leading wide receiver, his 16th catch.
Coming out early with a little pass like they did a couple of weeks ago. Nice route run, real quick, just a quick little button. Hits the spot, turns, gives his body to the quarterback, and Reynolds does a nice job of hitting him in the numbers.
They go to the up man, and they grind out the first down. Noah Copeland taken down by Adrian Blake. Here are the Navy offensive starters. Some fresh faces back at the center position, Randy.
Yeah, Tanner Fleming's back there, Blaze Ryder. Won't be surprised if he gets a few reps. That means he gets to go back to left tackle.
Both of those men missed the VMI game 2 weeks ago with different injuries. Reynolds keeps, and gets smashed right near the line of scrimmage. Cleveland Wallace, Vince Buhajor ripped him down.
Yeah, beautiful job inside of, keep saying, attacking the junction points and attacking the ball. That's exactly the linebacker. Buhajor gets in there and just goes after him. They've got 2 real aggressive linebackers inside, Buhajor and Tago.
Buhajor played when Navy was shut out here 2 years ago, but missed the matchup last year. Reynolds on the keep, and Reynolds lunging forward. Gets near the marker, about a yard short. Again, Buhajor, the grad student out of Concord, California, on the tackle. Here's the rest of the San Jose State defense. Travis Rosidi, the big body up front. He's a graduate student, his team high 40th start of his career. Chris Swain into the fullback slot for Navy. And he gets the ball. And pounds across for a first down. Cedric Lucy, the junior out of Fremont, California, tackled him at the 36.
See, and right now, San Jose State's kind of trying to feel this option out. This is the perfect time for Ivan Jasper, the defensive coordinator upstairs, to get a little bit of it, pull some stuff out of the bag of tricks. Because the defense looks a little hesitant. When you get a little hesitant, you start guessing against this offense.
Reynolds keeps, gets taken down immediately by Cedric Lucy, loses about a yard and a half. We have seen Navy employ more multiple fullback looks, and that's something Ivan Jasper told us and other media leading up to this game. They have been the most dynamic playmakers, and he's trying to incorporate more of them more often.
Well, sometimes that's just how these offenses work. Your guy that sees the ball the most, the first option in the triple option, the fullback, can tend to dominate the offense.
It's Noah Copeland here. Copeland bullies his way for a yard and a half. Tripped up by Christian Tongo, the team's top tackler. That's his 55th of the year.
And if you haven't seen Navy play this triple option very often, concentrate on the defensive side. You see them, they throw more cut blocks. They get down into people's legs. Linebackers, defensive backs, they're an equal opportunity cutting offense. They'll go after everybody's legs.
Going after 9 yards here on third down. Reynolds' keeper won't get it. The push to the 40. Akeem King, the safety, one of the many grad students, one of 9 of the San Jose State team.
Excellent defense. Watch the static state of this defense on that side. Not a lot of movement, a lot of looking, a lot of reading. And by doing that, they're not overreacting. Excellent job.
Pablo Beltran to punt. Tyler Irvin, an outstanding return man. Beltran gets it off. Irvin of his own 17. What coverage by Navy downfield. Noah Copeland, the fullback, on specials. 43-yard punt. No chance for a return. Copeland on the spot. Homecoming in Annapolis. The fierce battle to reach the top of the PBR World Standings heats up. Don't miss the push for the World Championship, as well as the legendary Bushwhackers' final rides on the PBR Built for Tough Series World Finals tonight, 9 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. Bushwhacker, he'll close out his career and retire after Sunday. Born in Oakdale, California, Randy, back in 2005. Not sure if you crossed paths, perhaps?
Not really. Nope. I don't think so. And it's that is the name from PBR that I know.
Called
is Bushwhacker.
The Michael Jordan
of
bull riding. Deemed that by Newsweek. He'll close out a storied career. Tim Crawley at running back. Motion from Shane Smith. Crawley zigzags his way to the 20-yard line. Tackled by Jordan Drake. He's among the defensive starters for this Navy unit. Chris Johnson, third on the team in tackles for loss. He's a solid tweener linebacker, Randy. Buddy Green, defensive coordinator, told us he won't go nickel against this multiple look because of the multi-dimensional aspects of Johnson.
Yeah, not only can he rush the passer, he's very good in coverage.
Tyler Irvin at running back. Gray, quick strike left side, finds the first down. Just inside of the 20. Brought in by Hansel Wilson, the former walk-on who earned a scholarship, tackled by Quincy Adams.
And that's something you have to be able to do in this offense if you're Joe Gray. You've got to be able to spin that thing out of there quickly. And it's not easy to do out of that shotgun snap, believe me. You have to get that ball, grip whatever part of the ball you could get, and be accurate.
He has been wildly accurate on the season, but has that pick today off the play fake. Pocket collapsing, and he throws it away. Chris Johnson was there in pursuit.
Excellent pressure. You talked about his accuracy in the interception. He threw the interception because of pressure, and Johnson gets in his grill and causes him to have to get rid of that ball quickly and just does get back to the line of scrimmage. Had a receiver over there, so he's fine.
Go to an I formation here. On the ground. Tyler Irvin taken down by Will Anthony. Armed Forces Football proudly sponsored by USAA. So here it is, Randy, 3rd and 5. What are you looking for?
Well, this offense, I'd look for another one of those multiple receiver sets. They're going to come out here in twins. That means 2 receivers to each side plus a tight end. They're going to throw for it.
They've got to get to the 39. 42% successful on 3rd down this year. Right near the marker, Tim Crawley. That is a catch. Right around the 39, tackled by Brendan Clements.
Yeah, beautiful job by Clements. He's off the receiver, and he closes on the ball. He uses that yard marker as usually his backstop, and then he closes in. Good throw by Gray. It's accurate. It's right at the yard marker. But if this is 4th down, and they're going to measure it, it's because of the job Clements did closing.
Incredibly close. You can see there just how close it is. Can't quite get over the shoulder for the view as the chains get pulled taut. Our referee Eddie Shelton with the white hat on the spot. And it's just short. Eddie Shelton just raised his fingers in the air and showed maybe a 2-inch separation. Now, San Jose State goes for it on 4th down quite a bit, but on its own side of the 50-yard line.
Most teams have the same sort of parameters that Navy has. Navy goes for it quite a bit, but on your own side, on the 39-yard line, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself, not only yourself, but also how you're going to stop an odd offense like Navy's triple option, because this is not an offense they see very, very regularly.
You saw the numbers 9 of 12 on a 4th down. Fourth down and inches.
We're taking another look at the spot, but one more time. Nice tackle, excellent close by Clements. Just getting there, wrapping up the receiver and throwing him out of bounds. Might get a better look at the spot here from this angle. Ball's in the right hand. I think they had that spot just about perfect.
They are confirming with replay official Roy Reynolds. Difference of a few inches here, and you got a 1st and 10.
You see the line judge, Kat Conti, talking to Rod Carriger, discussing this play and this spot. Not sure how much further that ball ever got around.
Each sideline has endured a turnover early. It was a 3rd down and 5. Was the full 5 achieved by San Jose State. Difficult to get a great angle.
You got a pretty big quarterback, 6'2", 215, and an excellent size center, and David Peterson, 6'5", 295 pounds. So if you do have to go for it on 4th down, I imagine the sneak is probably your best bet, working under the center. So the ball never really gets over to his left side, so you couldn't really make much of a case that you should spot it forward. It stayed in that right side of his body. I think they had it pretty much spot on when they spotted it the first time.
A game of inches. That is exactly the difference between San Jose State clean continuing this drive or perhaps making a gutsy call. Homecoming here at Annapolis. These teams have had very different clashes in recent years. 2 years ago, a 12-0 finish, lost by Navy here at Annapolis. Last year, a high-scoring triple overtime thriller.
Yeah, 2 years ago, the 12-0 game, San Jose State's defense did an excellent job. I believe held Navy like 166 yards rushing.
After further review, the runner made the line to gain. The ball will be placed on the 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, there you go. So give him the 39 and give San Jose State a fresh set of downs. You agree?
Not really. I don't think that ball ever got to the 39-yard line. That's why they don't ask us.
So here's 1st and 10. Blitz comes. Irvin, that blitzer got it. Chris Johnson has been darting into the backfield quite a bit this drive.
But watch the outside guys here. You want to see them go down to pull the ball. It's pull, that means you keep it. They don't do that, that means you give the ball to the back. That's a tough decision right there for Joe Gray.
Off the pump. Gray. Contact as he throws it away. Paul Quisenberry in there along with Obi Uzoma. And Navy is bringing far more pressure than we have seen probably all season.
Yeah, some with just an organic blitz too. I mean, an organic rush with only 4. In this case, it's a blitz. Not a lot of pressure early, but they're spinning off late, getting excellent pressure in Gray's face.
3rd and 9. Movement and a completion. Tim Crawley, the sophomore out of San Jose. Flag down. Paul Quisenberry made some contact there.
Flag on the top of the screen, but you see what a nice job. Gray throws it to a spot.
Defense, number 45.
He does it really well.
Penalties declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
That was Paul Quisenberry who jumped.
Trying to get a little bit of a pass rush head start. That penalty's declined because of that excellent throw and catch. San Jose moves the ball across the 50. On the ground.
Tyler Irvin yet again, this time tripped up by Jordan Drake. He's only 5'10", Randy. It's him Crawley at 5'7", 175, getting lost in the maze of the big bodies.
It can happen a little bit. Plus, it's the problem with the read option in there. If you do it right, the linebackers and them have to commit down to the ball. And if Gray wants, he's going to have some opportunities where he can pull this thing out and run it.
He's got Crawley alongside on 2nd and 3. Big push again. They go to the swing pass and find Crawley. Johnson helps him out of bounds, but that's good for a first to the 27.
Now that is an excellent throw by Joe Gray, and that's a lot harder than it looks. Because even the guys at the next level have a difficult time hitting a running back, running away from him at an angle, perfectly in stride and in the hands. That's just what Joe Gray did.
Irvin back at running back. Here's Buddy Green, the defensive mastermind of Navy. Off the play fake, Gray running for his life and threads the needle. Another first down as he finds Tyler Winston.
Well, not only a quick, instinctive, athletic move by Gray here, avoiding the rush. Look at that contortionist kind of thing he does with his body, being able to run to his left, turn his body back to the right, and throw it across the body and be accurate.
It is a little bit of a traveling circus act, huh?
A little bit.
They weave their way down to the 16. Irvin, the deep man. Blitz comes near side. Irvin runs left. And he gets submarined. Loses about a yard thanks to Bernard Serra. Today's red zone numbers brought to you by Verizon. Here's what San Jose State has done this year.
And just in case you're 45%. For a really effective offense, you're at least 67%, 67 to 70% touchdowns in the red zone. It's way too many field goals when you get down in the red zone.
Gray, quick hitter. Winston yet again. Dances out of bounds at around the 9-yard line. Quincy Adams in coverage.
Yeah, I like the way Winston, he's really crisp with his routes. That gives him an opportunity, I think, to feature that second or third kind of a break out of a route to a DB that get used to seeing him running certain outs like that.
Buddy Green talked about third down situations, said it was hard to get San Jose State in third down in more than 3. He has them in 3rd and 4. Zigzag up the middle. Good for a first. A pounding taken by Tyler Irvin. But the smaller man with great quicks knifed his way to the 4.
Look at the job they do over here on this left side. Just opens up a wedge in the defense. Read, you come back, you're blocking like that. Beautiful, just wedge of green open for the running back there. Good job by that offensive line.
1st and goal. San Jose State will do this. Look to the sideline quite a bit.
They're in no hurry.
Gray to the end zone, dropped. Jabari Carr, the intended target. Had a defender draped alongside him, though. And Navy's Brendan Clements.
That was a nice job by Gray, though, on that pass. You notice that he put it on the perfect spot, away from the defensive back, on the backside hip of his wide receiver. That's the kind of accuracy we're talking about that really separates him, I think, from some of the other kids we've seen lately.
Irvin swarmed under, plunged to the 2. Quazell Bertrand with the tackle, and Navy trying to hold.
Navy played this play on San Jose State's side of the line of scrimmage. Started with Bernard Serra doing a great job of clogging up some of those blocks, and then the linebackers scraping over the top for Buddy Green.
They go big here. Chris Gonzalez, the backup center, who's also used as a blocking tight end, comes in along with the bigger back and Chris Dadson.
A little confusion up front for Navy.
On the ground, in the backfield. Obi Uzoma takes down Tyler Irvin, a loss of yardage back to the 5.
Well, the late shift puts the strength on the right side, but Uzoma comes just inside the 1 block and wraps up the legs of the running back. That's really, really nice. Not even blocking Uzoma, he makes him pay for it.
So they don't get the touchdown. It's field goal time for Austin Lopez, who's had a roller coaster year. 9 of 17 on field goals. Began the year 3 of 9. He's made 6 of 8 since. A tying effort in the Wyoming game last week. And his first today is good. He hit 4 of them in the 12-0 game here 2 years ago. And he converts to make it 3-0 Spartans. Navy holds San Jose State without the touchdown. Flash on back, Army-Navy, 1963, a nation in mourning from President Kennedy's assassination 15 days earlier. Heavy hearts for Army-Navy. Navy led by Heisman Trophy winner Roger Staubach faced off with the Black Knights, a spot in the Cotton Bowl on the line in front of 102,000 at Philadelphia's Municipal Stadium. Army could not get off the final play of the game, and Navy won 21-15. Only 49 days to go in the countdown to America's game, the Army-Navy game presented by USAA, only on CBS Sports. Now, speaking of Roger Staubach, here's how he compares to 2 recent benchmarks in the Navy program. Keenan Reynolds tied with Ricky Dobbs for the career touchdown record.
And sitting here about just a little past the halfway point of his junior year, he should be able to put some numbers up here at Navy that'll be tough for anybody else to get real close to, at least quickly.
Austin Lopez, fresh off a 22-yard field goal. Boots this one with little leg into the teeth of a tough wind. Damon Brown, second run back in the game. A hard hit delivered at around the 25. Midshipman slow to get up. Looks like Tony O'Gully, one of the other return men. We'll step aside, Navy ball, when we come back. College football all the live long today on CBS Sports Network. Up next, inside college football and Temple at UCF at 5 Eastern. Big matchup in terms of the American Athletic Conference. 2 of the top teams in the league. Last year, the Knights scored 10 points in the last 1 minute and 6 seconds. A 23-yard field goal by Sean Mott as time expired. The difference.
Yeah, they had one heck of a leader last year in Blake Bortles and some of the miracles he was able to throw or pull off. And at 4-2, not bad, but just not the same kind of magic.
So Antonio Gully hopping on the sidelines. He went off on his own power, had his right ankle looked at during the course of the break. Noah Copeland, the fullback, off the play fake. Reynolds. Deep look. Leaping catch to Brandon Sanders beyond midfield.
Nice touch by Keenan Reynolds. Something we haven't seen out of him in a couple of weeks. An accurate touch pass, hitting Sanders right in stride. That's a nice matchup, Sanders against the linebacker.
27 yards. Second catch of the year for Sanders. The first one went for 40. Reynolds duped them all. And gets to the 40, tackled by Christian Tongo as we check in with Sheehan Stanward Birch for more on the mindset of Keenan Reynolds.
Well, guys, the last 2 weeks have been really good for Navy quarterback Keenan Reynolds. His body physically was able to rest and heal a shoulder and knee injury that had been slowing him down. And he told us that this time off has been very beneficially for him mentally as well. Reynolds said he read a lot of books about mental toughness and was able to spend time back at his home in Tennessee with his family. He said he was excited to get back on the playing field and told us he thought a lot of his struggles were from thinking too much, and he just needed to go out and play and worry about the things he can control.
Thank you, Sheehan, and he's controlling the offense right now. The maestro off another play fake finds Brandon Colon for his second catch of the season.
And doing a nice job throwing, being very accurate. And San Jose State, a little caught by surprise, I think, by their ability to throw the ball quite this crisply and cleanly. And I know for Brian Kelly and Notre Dame, next week's opponent, will crack this film open, and they'll say this isn't the regular Navy offense.
13-yard gain on the ground. Swain rumbles over several would-be tacklers down to the 10-yard line. 17-yard run by the fullback, tripped up by Simon Canet.
Nice job blocking. Getting that backside backer blocked is always a huge part of that inside fullback run. They do it, and it's loud. See with a pad on pad there now.
Right on by the linebacker Boulajour. It was a big part of San Jose State's defense earlier in the game. Reynolds keeps it here. Was that a little off there, Randy? Didn't quite look clean.
No, it wasn't. The ball wasn't loose, but the play in general, that's a pretty nice play for a broken play, you might say.
Time ticks away. The first quarter comes to a close. San Jose State scored on a methodical 18-play drive. It's been chunks of yardage for Navy at the close of the first quarter. You're watching college football right here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 3-0 San Jose State. Second quarter about to get underway, but we invite you on Tuesday nights 10 Eastern to join a sports conversation unlike any other. Elite Women in Sports provide another voice for all the trending topics.
All athletes are not created equal because everyone has a certain standard, whether it's a Johnny Manziel, whether it's a Diana Taurasi at the University of Connecticut. They're bringing in lots of money, lots of ticket sales and everything else.
Don't miss We Need to Talk, Tuesday nights 10 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Second and goal for Navy, down 3-zip. Keenan Reynolds 3 for 3 passing early on.
And now so far you've seen the problem with his triple option. Which option do you worry about?
Reynolds on the handoff, in standing up, Noah Copeland, his third rushing TD of the season.
Wow, what a job by Tanner Fleming and Jake Zuzik on the right side, that offensive line. Excellent job just drilling the San Jose defense. Zuzik gets a good block. Tanner Fleming gets into the end zone with the linebacker. That's how you do it.
Fleming just back on the mend. Missed the VMI game. The whole squad had that bye week to rest up. Here's Austin Grebe, took over place kicking duties in that VMI contest. Perfect on extra points this season. Remains just that. He's 8 for 8. It started back at the 25-yard line. Keenan Reynolds, 2 for 2 passing on the drive for 40 yards, including this lengthy hookup. And then leads to Painter, the fullback with a carry. Copeland the score. Navy up 7-3. The senior out of San Antonio, Texas, Noah Copeland got the score. Navy with the lead, 7-3, 6 plays, 75 yards. Took just 2:18. San Jose State's been slow, plodding, methodical, and Navy has gotten yards in huge patches.
Yeah, it's been like transposing MOs. You know, Navy's usually the methodical football team. They've sort of decided to take on a little bit different persona. The time off, I think it's done this entire Academy football team excellent.
Kendi Amatololo has said he feels like San Jose State shows many of the hallmarks of an Academy team with its discipline, with the way that it will try to drive time of possession. Tim Crawley, Tyler Irvin, the return men. Both a big part of what this team does on offense is the wind just blowing the ball off the tee.
You mentioned the San Jose State team. It's very much a resurgent program. Mike McIntyre, now at Colorado, kind of started it all a few years back, and Ron Carragher's doing a very nice job of continuing that job. And a bowl game would do them wonders, get a chance to play in the bowl.
Windy circumstances, the winds have swirled. Kicking in this direction has not aided the kicker early. Reeve was a great leg, only sends this one to the door of the end zone, and a knee for Tyler Irvin.
That's a pretty good stroke into this wind, the way it's been today.
So San Jose State starts this drive. Today's 1st and 10 brought to you by Golden Corral.
Another thing you haven't seen through the first quarter of play, you'll notice up above, up in this area in here, you're not seeing too much in the way of timeouts being used. Both these offenses very, very efficient so far. Coach is not needing any time to bring their quarterbacks to the sideline. Not much confusion.
Gray was somewhat confused with that kick early, but not necessarily a play call. Navy gets duped by this play fake. Jabari Carr, first down catch out to the 37.
Well, it's a great situation out to the outside here for the quarterback as he gets going and just zips this thing out and lets his receiver head upfield. Look over to the right side as this ball goes in. Custom made, 2 blockers doing excellent jobs out front. Ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage so they can immediately start blocking.
On the ground, Crawley. Not much Quisenberry in there, along with Uzoma. San Jose State's scoring drive, Randy, was 18 plays. It took 7 minutes 32 seconds. The most plays and the longest scoring drive allowed by the Navy defense this year.
And what San Jose needs to do, though, they get in that red zone, you've got to close the deal. You know, Coach Carragher will be the first one to tell these guys, you got to finish the deal in the red zone against this Navy football team. Field goals aren't going to do it if Navy gets on a roll.
Gray over the middle. Andrew Vollert, the redshirt freshman tight end out of San Francisco, gets the first down. Taken down by Navy's top tackler, Daniel Gonzalez.
And it's nice to see an offense like this. We talk about these spread looks all the time now in college football, but this is a methodical spread. They're not in a hurry to get the plays off.
Crawley at running back. Gray finds Winston. Wrapped up by Chris Johnson as we check in for more on Joe Gray's story with Sheehan Stanwood Birch.
Well, guys, Joe Gray's been waiting for the opportunity to play quarterback for a long time. He sat behind current Chicago Bear David Fales the last couple years and was hoping this would finally be his year to lead the team. After an intense battle with senior Blank Jurich, the coaches determined that Jurich would be the starter at the beginning of the season. Offensive coordinator Jimmy Daugherty told us, though, that Gray remained positive, level-headed, and kept working hard, realizing that his time could still come, and it has. Today is the 4th start of his career, and head coach Ron Carragher told us he thinks Joe has improved every game and that his Joe Cool composure is one of his strengths.
Thank you, Sheehan. Is calm under pressure. He finds Tim Crawley for a first down. Joe Gray had the starting job in the spring, but they did not want to announce anyone as a starter. They wanted to continue the competition. This staff, though, was not surprised to see him eventually emerge.
Well, Sheehan mentioned the kind of Joe Cool persona. There's a great example. An errant snap. He doesn't get flustered. He takes it, throws a very accurate pass out to the outside to set up a nice game.
Crawley in motion. Instead, it's Irvin. Huge hole. Irvin bouncing off tacklers. And somersaulted down to the 22. Quazel Bertrand laid the lick, a 19-yard jaunt.
Yeah, well, watch the hole right here form, and then you're just going to see a skilled, athletic running back just hit, bounce, and bounce. Here comes the wall. There goes the handoff. Bounce. Bounce. That's excellent. Well done by San Jose.
You've been very impressed by the line play offensively for both teams.
Yeah, and I think San Jose State has done a very good job in a conventional scheme line blocking wise.
San Jose State calls timeout. So we have 11:50 to go in the first half. Spartans on the drive, a 7-3 Navy lead. This week's 76 Athlete of the Week, Joe Gray, quarterback, San Jose State, Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week. Thanks to that win against Wyoming, ran for a touchdown, threw for 2, including the game winner. But none of that happens, Randy Cross, without the play of the big guys up front.
Yeah, this has been a nice deal, and you know, you got everything from a grad student in Peterson to a Samataua, a redshirt freshman, another redshirt freshman at right guard in Velichko, you know, a sophomore in Sarver at right tackle. It's a good mix.
4 freshmen on the 2 deep for San Jose State. Tim Crawley at running back. Out of the San Jose timeout, the play fake. Brilliant timing to Billy Freeman, the sophomore tight end out of Mesa, Arizona, and the clicking starting to come for San Jose State.
Very important, because up to this point, tight ends were just small tackles in this offense today. Now you featured the fact that you threaten, you will throw to the tight end. That makes that inside of the defense a lot more aware of that position. Good timing, too, getting into the red zone here.
They go empty.
Trips left.
Gray goes right. Receivers block and a stumbling catch. Nullified much for Tyler Winston. Will Anthony, the defensive end, in space with the tackle.
Yeah, Winston reminds me a little bit of Irvin in the way he runs and he moves. So it gives you 2 guys out there, a running back and a wide receiver, that can really make stuff happen. That's pretty unusual for Winston to have a footing issue when he's catching the ball.
Buddy Green, defensive coordinator for Navy, sending in the hand signals. Brandon Monroe getting his first reps at running back for the Spartans. Blitz comes. Gray on the roll, throws it away. Closest man was Jabari Carr. Obi Uzoma had himself in the backfield again.
Yeah, early impression of this Buddy Green defense. This defensive staff and personnel have done a very nice job of studying the game plan that Buddy Green's offered, and he is intent on putting pressure on Joe Gray. He's not going to let this kid stand back and throw, because you can see when he doesn't get pressure, he's about as accurate as he wants to be. If you're going to force him, you can make him make some bad decisions, I think.
There you see on 3rd downs today, San Jose State 3 of 5. It's 3rd and 5.
Again, red zone has to mean touchdowns here. You can't get field goals.
Play fake to Urban on the boot. Gray goes end zone. Caught. Brought in by Billy Freeman, his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful job. You see it all the time. Quarterback reverses out and comes this way, and then you bring a receiver into the end zone behind it. Very hard to defend. The onside receivers distract the defense. It's the backside receiver that's your intent in that situation.
Point after for Austin Lopez. He's been perfect on the year, 15 of 15. San Jose State goes 10 plays, 75 yards in 4 minutes, 22 seconds, and takes the lead back. Connecting with the tight end, Freeman for 6. And a pumped up Spartan squad leads Indianapolis. Two years ago, 2 of the brothers Quisenberry came together as San Jose State and Navy met on the football field. Today, it's just Paul Quisenberry on the field for Navy. The team's top tackler and tackles for loss on the season had an emotional time with his team and his family. For more, let's check in with Sheehan on the sidelines.
Well, guys, a couple weeks ago, we told you about Navy defensive end Paul Quisenberry's brother's battle with lymphoma. Paul's brother, David, played at San Jose State and is currently on injured reserve for the Houston Texans as he just finished his 7th round of chemotherapy. Today, 4 teams are honoring David, the 2 on this field and also UCLA and Colorado, who played against each other today. Much of the coaching staff of Colorado, including head coach Mike McIntyre, coached David at San Jose State, and his youngest brother, Scott, is an offensive lineman for UCLA. Today, San Jose State is wearing the stickers on their helmets with DQ and this bracelet. Navy had a special football delivered to David that was signed by all the brothers and the coaching staffs. It's truly a nice tribute to the Quisenberry family, showing their support.
Thank you, Sheehan. And thankfully, we hear the treatments have been going well, that recovery looks promising. Paul Quisenberry addressed the team twice in the infancy of the season, also at camp. And not many a dry eye in the house on those days.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story, and obviously an iron strong family.
Austin Lopez's kick. Wind helps that one sail beyond DeMond Brown. So Navy gets the ball down a score. San Jose State fresh off a scoring drive to take the lead. What have you seen early from this Navy offense today, and what do you expect in terms of how it might alter based upon what San Jose State has done?
Well, I think what Navy has done is they've come in here with a little bit more of a diverse attack against San Jose State. They're giving them more of an offense they're used to seeing and less of just the pure pounded away triple option.
Noah Copeland at fullback. Reynolds to the edge. Reynolds keeps. It's hammered down at around the 29. Vince Boujajor laid the lick.
If a quarterback runs in this offense, you got to hit him. And when you hit them, they grunt.
It's a tennis match breaking up.
It's kind of an oof more than anything else, but you got to call it a grunt. Now, like she had mentioned, that rest really helped Keenan Reynolds because he was banged up 2 weeks ago.
Toss play. Joffrey Whiteside upended around the 36. Make that Dyshawn Romine. That is good for a first down.
Boy, what a play there on the outside. You've got a convoy in front of you. You fight through like that. That's a beautiful job. That was a speed sweep in this triple option that looked like it had 20, and somehow they limited it.
Reynolds keeping. That's a big gain on first down, a long 4. Cedric Lucy with the tackle. Reynolds had a day for the ages last year. Single game record for a quarterback. 7 rushing touchdowns and 1 of the year.
That's fantasy football. I mean, that's really, people do that with college football 15 or Madden. That's stuff you do electronically, not in real life.
Only the good players, man. 2nd and 6.
I wouldn't know the difference.
Reynolds, tuck and run yet again. Reynolds off to the races. Brought down inside of the 15 by Forrest Hightower.
Two things to keep your eye on. Watch the defense go this way, and then Keenan Reynolds see that hole and just exploit it quickly. Defense collapses. He sees the hole. Off to the races.
There's a flag on the field. Appear to be a sideline warning to San Jose State. 47-yard run by Reynolds. Swain in at fullback.
So, John, how do you like the new quick strike Navy offense?
It's fun. This has been a dynamic day for Navy with a revitalized QB. And Reynolds hopping over the line. Wove his way to the 8. Brought down by Travis Rosidi, the defensive tackle. You can feel the energy coming from this Navy team. But was that part of the issue on that initial game-opening exchange, perhaps?
Probably too much energy. Trying to be too perfect almost. But since then, the play calling and the execution have been about as perfect as you'd like them if you're an offensive coach.
2nd and 6. Reynolds goes in. Touchdown, Navy. And Keenan Reynolds, the career touchdown king in Annapolis, his 50th TD.
Watch the defense get stretched and the hole open up. Stretch, stretch. Here's the hole. Cut back. And trust me, Keenan Reynolds is very good at the triple option. It's not as easy as it looks. He saw that hole before it happened.
Shades of the man who was getting Heisman talk before the year. Gravy makes it 14-10. Keenan Reynolds, the maestro of the offense. A lengthy run to get it going. And Reynolds leading his team into the red zone, capped it off by bursting into the end zone. And he snaps the tie with Ricky Dobbs for the career touchdown lead at Navy. It's 14-10. Scoring has picked up. Last 4 drives between these two teams, all have covered 75+ yards. All have resulted in scores. The latest, Keenan Reynolds did most of the damage. 5 rushes, 67 yards, and the score. And he is now #1 by himself in the record books in Navy history.
Yeah, he should get well into the 70 to 80 range touchdown-wise in this offense. There's no reason, the way they run it, as integral as he is in the execution, he'll just keep piling up these touchdowns.
To put it in perspective, San Jose State has run for 51 yards in the game. Reynolds has run for 84. Also 3 for 3 passing.
And the difference so far in this game is one time San Jose State got in the red zone, got close, and had to settle for a field goal. That's why I say what I say. When this offense for Navy gets on a run and Keenan Reynolds is operating this way, you just flat can't kick field goals.
2 great return men for San Jose State. Reeves boot. They don't want any part of a return, not a clean one. So a bouncing ball goes to Irvin. Hurdles the defender and gains to around the 25. Later on in this week's Nissan Heisman Watch at the half, the guys in New York will get you up to date on leading Heisman contenders and weigh in on who they think will take home the sport's most coveted trophy. Those the top 3 for you, Randy?
Those are the top 3 for me, but remember Todd Gurley from Georgia. There's a chance the NCAA gets his ruling back. He's back for Florida. And there's about 170 yards of rushing that may be added to that race by the time this thing's over. But at this point, Mississippi State is not only the story of the year, but Dak Prescott's probably the leader.
Tyler Irvin at running back. Gets the first down carry and gets met by a swarm of Navy defenders, fronted by Paul Quisenberry. And as we start the second half surge of this season, some other news around college football. High-scoring affair, well anticipated by many, including you, Randy, between Oregon and Cal last night.
Well, Marcus Mariota had a very, very good game in that one. He sort of gets back into the national consciousness. CBS later on today, Mississippi State at Kentucky. That poll, 7:30 on Tuesday night is when that poll show is on. We'll find out what the committee's thoughts are on our first playoff.
And, of course, after that, you can watch Randy and the gang at Inside College Football break it down.
Oh, of course.
Gray going deep one-on-one and overshoots Hansel Wilson, the junior out of El Cajon, California.
Gray's going to kick himself when he sees this on tape. If he just leads him across the field and not so much depth-wise, I think Gray's got a long hookup here, if not a touchdown. But the ball kind of fades away from the receiver.
So it's 3rd and 12. San Jose State 4 of 6 on 3rd down today.
This is custom made for Buddy Green in this defense. They were worried about too many 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 3s. 3rd and 12 is perfect. Go to attack mode.
Off the play fake. Swing look. Irvin. Shoved out of bounds. Meyer Craw helped him out of play, and punt time for San Jose State.
Yeah, needed to get to the 35, only got to the 30. Great job by Buddy Green's defense, taking everything away down the field and limiting San Jose State to just a little swing pass.
San Jose State dead last in the country in net punting at 28.5. Stats skewed by the Auburn game. Brandon Sanders at the 20. Sanders to around the 37, about a 17, make that a 19-yard run back after a 50-yard punt. Keenan Reynolds has been a big story today, though, Randy.
Yeah, he has been throwing the ball. He's been extremely accurate with nice touch, but the story so far has been him running the ball, outrunning San Jose State. Good decision making, putting that foot in the ground and just going, getting himself a touchdown. So far, execution. This has been the Keenan Reynolds that Navy hasn't seen at quarterback for probably, what, 3 or 4 games? He was hobbled a little bit before he didn't play against VMI.
Copeland, might have been a face mask. Flag comes out. Looked like he got grabbed by the gear. Eddie Shelton, our referee.
Personal foul. Defense. Face mask. Number 3. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Goes on Travis Ricidi up front on the D-line.
Yeah, good. The umpire had a great view of Enrico Orsat. Watch it. He'll be coming across, raking across the face. Right there. There's your umpire standing there. It's kind of in his job description.
First penalty of the game, so he does the laundry. Copeland, huge hole. Copeland carrying a pair of Spartans inside of the 5. Cleveland Wallace the third and Jimmy Pruitt were on his back. A 36-yard run by number 34.
Right up the gut. Right behind Tanner Fleming. Binns gets a nice block at left guard. That is just straight up the gut, and you're not going to grab a Navy fullback, an option fullback, and bring him down. That was grab tackle in the last 10 yards.
Swain now in at fullback. Reynolds keeps. Hard hit. Vince Boisjor showing his strength.
Hello. You get a chance to do this, take this chance. Look at that. That's a form tackle, shoulder all the way. All you young football players out there, a head was not involved. That was shoulder, and that was perfect.
Is that grass or canvas out there? Second and goal. Navy's done it on the ground. Reynolds keeps, dips the shoulder, and he gets in. He doesn't have the brace on anymore, Randy, and he seems to be a different quarterback.
Yeah, once he makes up his mind, and this seemed to be a quarterback run pre-designed from the get-go, just coming down the line, taking advantage of excellent blocking up front, and then at the end, getting the last half yard just by sheer determination and shoulder length.
Grebe, point after. Bit of a high snap. Beltran deals with it well, and Grebe boots it through. 14th career, 2 rushing touchdown game for Reynolds, and it was set up by this.
Yeah, what a run inside. Just the all inside 3 with Fleming and Zuzik and Binns, and then was finished off right there. Swain's out front. He's blocking. The line starts to collapse. Swain gets a little bit of a block, but it's mainly Keenan Reynolds just will not be denied his touchdown.
4 plays, 61 yards to go 128. And it was aided significantly by one of Navy's rare solid returns of the season to get better field position.
Well, it's a pretty good testament, too, when it comes to field position. What you don't want to give this Navy offense is only kind of almost half a field to operate in. It takes one big play, and then, boy, this has been a quick strike Navy offense today.
3-yard run by Keenan Reynolds, who's closing in on his 11th career 100-yard rushing game. Noah Copeland did a bulk of the damage on that run.
Nice average.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Well, Noah Copeland averaging over 9 yards a carry, the Navy all-time record held by Shun White, 8.3.
And not on that graphic, he also has a tackle on a punt return.
Into the end zone, a touchback. That was a great job of coverage downfield by Copeland. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fourier, Aaron Taylor have scores from around the country, first half highlights, stats, and a whole lot more. Here is the new playoff system.
You'll hear a lot about that when Brent and Houston and Christian get together. Aaron Taylor making an appearance in the studio. So you'll hear all about Notre Dame.
That's been a bit of a running thing these days, huh? There is the new playoff system. National championship game January the 12th. Joe Gray with the low snap. Gets it to Irvin. Irvin keeps the legs churning. Knives for about 8.5. Daniel Gonzalez with the tackle. Do you like the playoff system as it's now structured?
I'm pretty happy. I was never a big opponent of the BCS. I thought the BCS did a great job of identifying the best team in the country. Didn't have too many instances where I could argue with it. I'm going to enjoy this 4-team playoff because don't have much other choice but to enjoy the 4-team playoff.
Play fake to Brandon Monroe. Anthony chasing down Gray. Finds his target, the tight end Billy Freeman, who's tumbled at the 49-yard line, first down.
And nice job by Joe Gray running this offense. Keep it methodical. You got plenty of time. You got 4 minutes and 18 seconds as of right now. The clock just started again. They got the chains moved. You have to answer these last 2 drives of Navy, and you got to answer it here before you go in at halftime.
Crawley. Huge space. Bertrand knocks him out of play at around the 36. Gigantic holes have appeared, Randy, for each team's running game.
Yeah, and that one was a little bit unconventional. It happens on the far right. You see the wing tight end set up. Watch that gap right there, right inside the wing and the tight end.
Monroe back out there as the deep back. Haven't seen much of an eye look from San Jose State. Carr. Ankle tackled by Quincy Adams. Gain of about 3.5.
Now they've got a kicker here in Austin Lopez. He's got a leg. He missed one from 58 last week up at Wyoming that was wide, but it had the distance. Of course, elevation of 7,200 plus feet will help a ball traveling in the air a little bit, but he's good from, I think, at least 50. Especially heading in this direction where the wind isn't as much of an issue.
Irvin motions out. Gray with a rush up the middle behind Crawley. Timing just a little off.
Yeah, that's the first pass we've seen, or the second. The first one was intercepted. The second pass here out of Joe Gray that is just off, hitting a moving target. Wide open. He had that feel just to stick his foot in the ground and go with it. What wind there is at their back. But they're not thinking field goal here. That can't be a goal of just getting points. They need a touchdown.
They're 4 of 7 on third down today. Here's 3rd and 6. Carr in motion. Gray dumps it off to Crawley. And Crawley tackled brilliantly by Quincy Adams, or no! Never brought down to the end zone. Touchdown. 33 yards.
The official ruled that he never hit the ground. He was on the body of Adams during the tackle, so he never spotted the ball down. Watch what happens as he hit the ground. 3, 2. Any part of his body hit the ground? No. His hand goes down, but it's not his wrist, not his forearm. If your wrist or forearm hit, you could call that down. Neither one happens. He's always on the body of Adams when he gets up and runs.
And you could see the entire Navy defense slow in its pursuit.
Oh, naturally, they thought that was a tackle. The question you'd have on that sideline is, did he step out of bounds at all? But I don't think so. Watch his feet. He's on the body. The hip doesn't hit the ground. The hand hits the ground. The feet do not go out of bounds. That's a touchdown. That's a missed tackle and a touchdown.
Tremendous body control. This is going to review upstairs. Tim Crawley, who walked on, was awarded a scholarship last year at a Friday night practice. When he had an emotional moment with his mom, who was there to pick him up, has become a big part of this offense, and he shows what he can do physically.
His backside doesn't hit, his knee doesn't hit. It's just the hand. You can put the hand down as a kickstand reference. You can't get the wrist down, you can't get the forearm down. That would be down by contact. It's just the hand. It doesn't collapse. Good strength there. That's just it turns out being a missed tackle. Excellent job by him, though. Wow, talk about the presence of mind, knowing that you didn't feel yourself actually be downed. He doesn't step out of bounds. That is something, and like you noted.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown confirmed.
Like you noted, the rest of the defense just relaxed. To them, that was a tackle. That was, here comes fourth down. Are they going to kick?
Brings body surfing to a whole new level, doesn't it?
Well, it's unbelievable body control. How about that strength of just having to put that hand on the ground to support basically his whole upper body? That doesn't collapse. It doesn't allow the rest of that forearm to hit the ground.
75-yard scoring drive to 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Point after is good, and we're hearing word that on the sidelines, the Navy staff was upset because it believed it heard a whistle.
Yeah, well, if you heard a whistle, but the official that was right there, listen to this. Tell me if you hear a whistle when it looks like he's down. Nope. Might hear a fan screaming or whistling in the stands, but I didn't hear an official's whistle at any point.
That's exactly what Ken Niumatalolo chats with Eddie Shelton, our referee, about. Reynolds over midfield. That's a first down. Travis Rosidi tripped him up.
And that should be enough to crack that 100-yard mark for Keenan Reynolds.
11 career 100-yard rushing games.
See, and still just about now 1 minute and 35 seconds, so there's no need to rush. There's plenty of time.
Reynolds, the late pitch. Calvin Cass Jr. just back after a hamstring injury. Had him out for the VMI contest.
And the way this Navy offense is operating, if you're San Jose State now on the offensive side, you've got to watch this and say, guys, every time we get the ball, we got to score. And our scores have to be touchdowns.
Swain, the fullback. It's about 3 yards shy. You saw the graphic, though. Greavy has yet to try a field goal in a game. He's been perfect on extra points. He's been very good on kickoff. But he is the starting kicker these days because of the difficulties Nick Sloan endured. Sloan was 3 of 8 on field goals on the season, and Ken Niumatalolo talked about how crestfallen his team became after some crucial misses.
And Sloan had plenty of chances, and you know, Ken Niumatalolo is a very loyal coach. Does not want to see a kid in this situation, but you know, going into the week of that VMI game, they just had to put the job open for bid. Had a tryout, and Greavy won the tryout.
No hard feelings between Greavy and Nick Sloan. Whatever's good for the team.
So the ball's on the 41-yard line. That's 14 more yards to go here in 1 minute and 1 second. If you're thinking field goal, with the big chunks Navy's been getting on offense, field goal's an afterthought, I think, probably right now.
2 timeouts left for Navy after calling one there. Off the play fake, Reynolds gets the first, so clock stops. Tony Popovich, defensive tackle, brought him down.
Boy, not much of a fake out there. Keenan Reynolds almost went to fake the fullback, but just tucked that ball and ran.
Here a play fake, looking to throw over the middle, in and out of the Brandon Sanders' hands on the leaping catch try. They had hooked up earlier today for nearly 30.
He had to Brandon Sanders going up the slot. Truth be told, I think he had another receiver even more wide open. That was a circus catch attempt. The other guy could have hit stride.
Seems to have a sixth sense with the man they call Bug, though, Sanders.
Gotta go, Keith!
Reynolds crosses body to the sideline, no catch, out of bounds. So back-to-back pass tries here, Randy, on a day they've run so well.
And look at there in the sideline, catches made, but he lands well out of bounds. First thing to hit once he gets possession is his knee, and the knee's on the white stripe.
Third and 10. Toss play to Whiteside. Gets the blocks. Bourgeois. And a shoulder around the 30. Flattened him out of play. Von Brown helped lead the path. What do you do here?
Well, if you're Navy and you're usually as aggressive as they are, you go for it here on fourth down. Fourth and basically 2. Got plenty of time left. Got 2 more timeouts left. It's too far to kick it in this win. Smart decision. Trying to get San Jose State to declare and jump.
Armed with 2 timeouts. Toss again. And there's the first for the Brandon Sanders. Romine and Tillman help pave this path.
Quick speed pitch to the top of the screen. Look at the numbers. You've got 3 blockers out there on 3 defenders. You cover them up. Pure speed and just a matter of outflanking the defense.
32 seconds.
Well in field goal range now.
Play fake. Reynolds. Long load. Reynolds on the run. Nearly picked off. Cleveland Wallace III, the transfer to the University of Washington, nearly had the pick.
Oh, running like this can't be accurate. Wallace, has it in his hands. Keenan Reynolds not able to properly lead his receiver. Goes it right at the DB, and Wallace III puts it on the dirt. Or
Wallace
round up tires, whatever you want to call this stuff.
Wallace leads this team in pass breakups. He's granted a waiver to play immediately, transferring back home from Washington. Reynolds off the fake to Copeland. Somehow maintains balance and garners the first of the 11. Adrian Blake with the tackle. Hurry up for Navy. And Reynolds spikes it.
Now we've seen Keenan Reynolds do this already a couple of times, and it just involves him coming down the line, looking for an opening, and then just putting his foot in the ground and making a decision. Once he makes his decision, he sees this gap, bang, the foot goes in the ground, and he cuts back. That's that second option in the triple option that makes this offense so deadly, has with every quarterback that's running, especially the last 2 with Ricky Dobbs and Keenan Reynolds. That second option is absolutely gutted defenses.
Reynolds on the roll. Reynolds inside of the 5. That's a catch. Brendan Dudek, his 8th catch of the season.
Using that second timeout, 5 seconds left.
Ken Niumatalolo trekked out from the sidelines to call timeout.
Nice job by Keenan Reynolds, because he's going to get out, go here, and then he's got to escape and look for somebody coming back from the backside, as we saw earlier, done so well by San Jose State for their touchdown. Nice job by Dudek, just putting his foot in the ground and stopping as a crosser. Foot goes in the ground, he stops, quarterback sees him, and just zaps that ball to him.
They had 5 seconds on the clock. They just announced to add 2 and bring it up to 7. Does that give you latitude for 2 plays?
Yeah, absolutely. At 5 seconds, I think you got to kick a field goal. You've got 2 timeouts, or you got 1 timeout left now. If it was 5 seconds, not 7. Run your play, and you don't have to worry about panicking too much. Try to get your timeout.
There's the explanation of the clock change. Now, with that in mind, though, does that mean this Navy squad that's been so good on the ground has to go in the air here?
No. No, I don't think so at all. So you have that timeout in your pocket. If you didn't have the timeout in your pocket, yeah, you'd have to throw it here. Not wanting to risk the chance of not making it. But think of that second option and how good it's been with Keenan Reynolds today. That's 3 or 4 seconds right there.
San Jose State calls timeout.
Coach Carragher obviously not real excited about the explanation he's gotten so far about the time put back on the clock.
Ron Carragher now in his 2nd season. He was coaching at Kentucky before he got his first head coaching job, recruiting coordinator, running back man. Of course, Kentucky on CBS against Mississippi State today.
Yeah, and he came from sort of that same lineage that Harbaugh did. He made the same kind of move. University of San Diego, going back up to the Bay Area for your next head coaching job. Harbaugh went to Stanford, and Carragher goes to San Jose State.
Already tuckered out. That's right.
All this scoring isn't exciting everybody. He's not worried about how they use those extra seconds for the timeout, trust me.
Here's the Navy offense. 7 seconds, 1 timeout. Copeland, the fullback. Reynolds, no. And with 3 seconds after Christian Tongo gets the tackle, Navy calls the timeout.
That was a nice job by Tongo in there. He was inside, almost in the A gap just before that ball was snapped. And he's not buying. Quick, just beautiful job by grabbing both linebackers from the inside, making this tackle.
He had a team-high 11 tackles in the Auburn game. Ivan Jasper told us this week he didn't know where exactly on the field San Jose State would use Tongo, but he thought he would have a huge role in the game.
Well, he's the ball guy. If you want to look at an inside linebacker that wants to go after the ball, if you were a team that play action well, he'd be your best friend. Because I tell you, when that ball flows or that ball moves, Tongo is all over it. He goes with the ball like crazy. He's perfect for this kind of offense if he has a good eye for the option.
Here's the first career field goal try for Austin Grebe. He had been a kickoff specialist. He's been perfect on extra points.
Now this is basically an extra point kick from the right hash mark.
Out of the hold of Pablo Beltran. Clean snap, the boot. Good. So Austin Grebe converts on the final play of the first half, and Navy has a touchdown lead at homecoming at halftime.
And now if you're San Jose State, they've matched your field goal in the red zone. Now you're even. Now you come back in the second half and you say, guys, they're going to score on our defense. We've got to have touchdowns every single time we get down there.
High scoring contest. And with Navy up a score, we go down to the field. She and Stanwick Birch with Navy headman Ken Niumatalolo.
Thanks, John. Coach, you told us it was going to be a battle. What's your overall thoughts in the first half?
Exactly what I thought. They're a well-coached football team. You know, Ron's got a good team, and we knew it would be this. We played these guys last year for 3 overtimes, so this is exactly what we expected.
What's it going to take in the second half for you to pull out a victory?
Oh, we got to finish. We got to finish. We know this is going to be a battle to the end. We got to finish.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thank you, Sheehan, echoing the words of Randy Cross. That's the end of the first half. Navy with the lead, 24-17. After the break, we send you to our CBS Sports Network studio. You're watching college football right here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Welcome on back to Annapolis. 24-17. Navy leads San Jose State as we are moments away from the start of the second half. John Sadak, the College Football Hall of Famer Randy Cross. Randy, these teams showed it last year. They're showing it again today. If you like offense, watch Navy San Jose State.
Well, exactly. Last year at this time, it was 16-10 Navy. Ended up being 38 all at the end of regulation, and it's a game and exactly towards that again. This has not been any kind of a defensive struggle. It has been a showcase for two really good college quarterbacks.
Here are the highlights to back that up. We start with San Jose State, and Joe Gray had the pick early, but then found rhythm.
Yeah, you start looking back and deciphering and picking apart where the points could have been. Well, the points were in more than ample spaces, and that great play right there. No tackle, never touched the ground, ended up in 6 points.
Keenan Reynolds had his own turnover problems and then took Navy onto his shoulder.
And we've seen him a few times this year. I don't know if we've seen him more accurate throwing the ball than he's been today. He's been right on the money, and running the ball, he just simply won't be denied.
Reynolds got a couple on the ground. And here are the numbers as they add up. The 5-hour energy first half stats. Total yardage nearly 300 for Navy, and San Jose State has time of possession.
Yeah, and the most important one for Navy, they got that first turnover on the first possession. Ended up not costing them any points. They can't afford going forward here in this sort of like reset/redemption part of their schedule. They cannot turn the ball over.
And there is Keenan Reynolds fired up for second half action. His numbers against San Jose State, a record-setting day with the 7 rushing touchdowns last year, part of a record-setting season for the Navy signal caller. Austin Grebe got his first career field goal. Old hat for him on kickoffs, and there's a touchback as we check in with Sheehan Stanwood Birch.
Well, guys, I had a few moments to catch up with San Jose State coach Ron Carragher, and he thought Navy was a good team. He knew the damage Keenan Reynolds did to him last year when they won, and he also was very impressed with his play today. Offensively, for his squad, though, he really wants them not to turn the ball over. And defensively, the focus is to stay disciplined and focus on open field tackling. Guys.
That's something they've gotten much better at under the stewardship of longtime defensive stalwart Greg Robinson, who has emphasized fundamentals and tackling.
Well, the defense looks like they know where they're going, and they're getting there with a nasty attitude. They just have to execute better.
On offense to begin the second, Tyler Urban. Crowded by Obi Uzoma and Paul Quisenberry. San Jose State in the first half, this is what possessions turned into. Interception, field goal, punt, touchdown. Remember, the Spartans won the toss and elected to defer.
And you saw that last play was sort of a read option kind of look that it ended up going to the left. You know, if Joe Gray wants to be taken seriously with this read option, he's got to actually keep the ball at least once, because right now Navy's totally just discounting him and ignoring him as an option to carry the ball.
It appears Obi Uzoma, who's in there on the front end of the tackle, man who's banged up. Here's the play.
You get in the bottom side of those dog piles, you can get rolled over, and the result is never good.
So Uzoma clutching at the rear of his right leg. Senior out of Wake Forest, North Carolina, helped away. 2nd and 11. Gray locked left side, sidesteps initial pressure. Gray off the pump. And there he is, not by design, Randy, not on read option, but showing he can move in some space.
Well, that helps, but as you could see, just by his body language, from the time he steps up here and avoids being grabbed and sacked, he's running to throw. Run to throw, run to throw. Okay, now I got to tuck it, and I got to run to run.
San Jose State 5 of 8 on 3rd down. Gray, 2 touchdowns and that pick that came on the first possession of the game. Needing 4 is tight end Freeman, finds just that. San Jose State a chance to move the chains.
Got that ball right to the 35-yard line with that lunge and dive. Pretty nice little effort at the end. But again, the key to this is the accuracy. And it seems like a little thing, but as you see, the receiver doesn't have to worry about adjusting his body. The ball was thrown perfectly. Just a matter of catching it, turning forward, and getting that first down.
Play fake, screen. Ansel Wilson's got great speed. Gets wrapped up, though, immediately. Kyle Battle, Quincy Adams in there.
He's got great speed, but he also has 6 guys hanging on him. I don't care how fast you are, you're going to be a lot slower when that happens.
They saw that screen coming?
Yeah, from the get-go. It wasn't really disguised real well. And so far, we've seen them throw that screen out of a trips look that has been much more effective, where you get 2 blockers on that one side with 1 guy catching the screen.
More spread trips formation here on the bottom of the screen.
Quick pop to the tight ends there.
Gray checking down, flips to Urban. Urban's got the first. Mark him down at the 48-yard line. Jordan Drake with the tackle, along with DJ Palmore.
Nice job attacking the middle of the field with the tight end, and then the backs circling out of the backfield. You look at this Urban, you can tell there'll be a pro team that are going to draft this kid or be interested in signing him and getting him on into their camp and see what he can do in a pro offense. He's got a lot of skills.
He can run, he can catch, he can return. Off a play fake. Incomplete, intended for Shane Smith. Chris Johnson was there to give pressure. Armed Forces Football, proudly sponsored by Golden Corral.
It looks like if he had a choice, Joe Gray might let one of those farm animals in the Golden Corral, give him a kick in the head after having that incompletion. He had a wide open receiver. He just drilled that thing into the ground. Looked like it came out of his hand finally.
He's been so accurate on the year and most of today. Urban immediately met by about a third of the Navy defense. DJ Palmore, the freshman out of Bartlett, Tennessee, again in on the contact.
I keep saying that about Joe Gray. Look at the backside of this offense. Look at this area right here after the ball snapped. That's where the quarterback would run. They collapse. If he keeps it, look at all that green out there on the outside. He's got to do that at least once, or this defense will just keep totally ignoring it.
They're 6 of 9 on 3rd down today. I'm thinking run here. Crawley, that's going to be well short of the first. Daniel Gonzalez, the immediate tackle after the catch.
Way too long to even think about going for it here, but this is where the punter's got to come on the field with instructions of exactly where to put it. Inside the 10 is your desire. Preferably unreturnable inside the 10.
Michael Carrizosa. Bounding shy, and San Jose State downs it at the 1-yard line. It's been a beleaguered special teams group, dead last in the country in net punting. And they force Navy to its own one, a 49-yard punt, no return.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, in theaters Friday. By Navy Federal Credit Union. 4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union. And by the makers of 5-Hour Energy.
Huge play on special teams as Navy pinned deep, leading 24-17, early stage 3rd quarter, and here is the play on punt. And how about the freshman Andre Sashore, just added to the travel roster for this game?
Yeah, and just perfect poise by him of throwing that ball back. Obviously well-coached special teams. Now that play has got to translate to points for San Jose. How do you do that? you don't give up a first down here, which gives your offense great field position. Maybe one first down, but best case scenario, you're getting the ball back about the 40.
Chris Swain in at fullback from the 1. Reynolds tuck and keep. The gash to around the 6. Taken down by Travis Ricidi. San Jose State entered today dead last in the FBS, 125th in the country in net punting. Granted, those numbers were skewed dramatically by the Auburn game.
Yeah, I tell you, this is a team that's obviously very well coached, very resilient. But right now, especially inside, they better get a lot better against the fullback and the quarterback.
Reynolds keeping again, and he gets the first down. The deception has been solid. Valois with the tackle.
And the key for this offense really is the onside tackle is getting at that backside linebacker. He's a scraper.
Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by Golden Corral. Navy getting a bit of breathing room. Swain swarmed. Ricidi led the charge. Vi followed. So time ticks. Navy with the 1-score advantage. And Navy in most of the first half, Randy, had been getting large chunks of yardage. This feels very different.
Yeah, it really does. It's a little more methodical. It's more of this is a Navy drive. You're getting it 3 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, 7 yards. That's how their offense usually runs. Not in a hurry to snap it.
Reynolds keeps yet again. Keenan Reynolds over 100 at halftime. Has had a breakout effort today.
See, already this is a successful drive for Navy. When you get backed up like that by a special teams play, you need at least 1 first down. But right here, they're about to get their 2nd first down. Now you go into normal offense mode once you get that 2nd first down.
Only need a yard. Reynolds has 137 today. This carry to the 25. Good for the first. Our 1st and 10 line today brought to you by Golden Corral. Another first down for Navy, a drive that started in the shadows of the goalpost. San Jose State crowding the box. Reynolds, how does he find this room? Spun down beyond the marker at the 35. That's good for a first. Forrest Hightower with the tackle.
Now the guy to really watch the whole way, the guys are the linebackers. Now watch what they do onside, and watch Keenan Reynolds stretch, foot in the ground, bang, go north. He does that as good as anybody out there, and that includes a lot of running backs.
Up the gut. Copeland just shy of the 40. For Reynolds, how much of it, in your mind, is the physical healing helping him today, and how much has the mental side aided him?
The rest, like Sheehan said, chance to go home. I think that's a lot. There's a lot of pressure on these young men.
Reynolds keeps again. Navigates to around the 45.
Because you think about a normal college athlete, starting quarterback, starting player for a normal FBS, big-time college program. That's a lot of pressure. Then you add normal school. That's pretty good pressure. But this isn't normal school. I mean, these guys are taking, you talk about, hey, he's not a rocket scientist. Well, here, you better be a rocket scientist, and that's a whole different kind of pressure.
3rd and less than a yard. Reynolds over center. That's another first down. Those are words that were echoed by the coaching staff over the course of last week. It was the week where, in all of athletics at Navy, coaches sat in classrooms with their student athletes. And Kenny Amantalolo, all of his assistants did that. And Coach Ken told us that his mind was a bit blown. it helped the staff understand the duress that the players are under academically. Reynolds, another first down run. Jimmy Pruitt on the tackle.
Yeah, this is all about that right side of the offensive line. Watch these three players right here and the job they do. Onside tackle, he gets the end. Slot gets the onside DB. Offensive lineman, shield and wall off the defensive lineman.
Timeout on the field, a one-score game. Navy on the drive. It's 24-17. The midshipmen lead at homecoming. Let's take a look at today's Chick-fil-A fan cam. Chicken indeed, number one.
Again, we're in the brigade with all the mids.
A lot of push-ups today.
In a suit.
And even though it's windy out there, enough of those push-ups, you'll get a good sweat on. Keenan Reynolds doing just that, a season-high 27 carries. He's 30 yards shy of his third career 200-yard game on the ground. The career-high day against San Jose State last season.
But he's well behind on his touchdown pace from last year when he had 7. He's only got 2 now.
Plenty of time, Randy. Reynolds. At this rate, he's getting a good 5-6 yards a clip himself. It seems every down, Simon Kinnett got the tackle.
Yeah, that C gap run, that means the third gap out from the center has been just gigantic. The corner is left on an island. He can't collapse. If he collapses, the run's on the way very far outside.
Reynolds again, another first down. Reynolds tumbled just on the doorstep. Mark him at the 2-yard line. A 30-yard run. He's to 200.
Okay, A, B, C gap. Watch the C gap run. 1, 2, bang. There he goes, foot in the ground. And if you're upstairs and you're Greg Robinson on defense, you better solve that one because you're getting gashed in that one gap.
Reynolds tucked at the shoulder, in for 6, his third of the day. 10 career games with 3 rushing touchdowns for Keenan Reynolds.
Pretty consistent whether the quarterback over these last few years has been Ricky Dobbs or Keenan Reynolds. Their favorite quarterback run in a goal-to-goal situation is the quarterback follow. Fake to the fullback and just follow the fullback right through the hole.
You were calling for that at times in the first half. Reeby on the move. 31-17. This was a 98-yard drive. All 13 plays came on the ground. And the engineer of it all, Keenan Reynolds. The long run. And Reynolds pays it off with his 3rd score of the day.
Brent Stover in New York. Final chance for Minnesota, trailing Illinois by 4, 4th and 10. Ernest Thomas the third with the quarterback sack. Illinois the upset. Minnesota falls in Big Ten play for the first time this season. Back out to you guys.
Thank you, Brent. Total yardage in that game went to the Gophers 411 to 263, and there is that first loss, Randy. Did you expect that?
Not at all. Not at all. Sort of pays off those new uniforms for Illinois right there, doesn't it?
The glitter eye doing some damage. Today, Keenan Reynolds, he has done the heavy lifting for Navy. What a huge day, over 200 yards on the ground and 3 scores.
Yeah, it's been A, about his decision making, and B, about the blocking, because he's been able to take advantage of some serious holes in the San Jose State defense. This is the possession of the game right here for San Jose State. You've got to answer this option offensive scoring. You don't answer here, they're going to step on the gas. They'll pull away. You'll never catch them.
The 98 yards traversed in that scoring drive, the longest this year by Navy. 93 came courtesy of Keenan Reynolds. Greavy's kick, returnable. Urban ripped down by the collar just inside of the 30. We'll take a break. When we come back, San Jose State on a pivotal drive. 31-17 Navy. Flashing back, Army-Navy, 2008 to Philadelphia. Sean White, a 65-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, helped set the tone. He would also help in the air attack, an 18-yard touchdown catch. Navy won it in shutout fashion, 34-zip. Sean White, 13 carries for nearly 150 yards. Take a look at this week's Where Are They Now, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Sean White, now a fire control officer on the USS Laboon in Norfolk, Virginia. Sean White, one of the fastest men to ever play for Navy at that fullback position. We check in for more with Sheehan Stanwyck-Birch.
Well, John, we asked offensive coordinator Ivan Jasper about Shun, and he told us that Shun was the featured guy of the Navy program at the time, that they asked a lot of him, and he always delivered. He still holds the school record for 348 rushing yards when they beat Towson in 2008, which was Nia Machalolo's first win as a head coach.
Heck of a way to get welcome to the head coaching ranks.
And that'll ingratiate you to the new coach, too. You'll be his guy for a long time.
He remembered that readily. When he was asked about Sean White in our meetings this week, the first thing that sprung to mind was, my first game he ran for well over 300 yards. Big drive for the Spartans after Navy went 98 to get a touchdown. Design screen to Carr. Carr doesn't have room to do much, and he gets swept under. Loses yardage thanks to Quincy Adams.
Well, he had plenty of room, I think, John. He just didn't have the time after he finally eventually caught it to do much with it. He bobbled that thing 3 or 4 different times.
That seems very similar to the screen they ran their last possession that resulted in a similar scenario. Gray to the air, incomplete. Not quite on target with Tyler Urban. Is this a cumulative effect of the pressure that Navy's employed this game?
I think so. He just misses this throw big time. There's nobody covering his receiver. There's nobody really pressuring him. He's feeling the pressure more than seeing the pressure.
San Jose State 6 of 10 on third down today. Started the game, though, 4 of 6. Navy only rushes 4. Gray still forced to zigzag. Lobs it over Crawley, the 5'7" wide receiver. He had wide open. Will Anthony and Aaron Davis were in pursuit.
Yeah, again, he's going to kick himself for missing a wide open receiver, but the quarterback's got to escape that pressure and then kind of get the heartbeat down a little bit and try to have the poise to get that ball to his receiver. Crawley couldn't quite manage it.
Here's Carrizosa. Ugly looking roll.
A rugby kick.
And down to the 34-yard line. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS dials up a dynamic double dip. First 2 teams looking to bounce back clash. Seahawks tangle with the Panthers. All hands on deck as the Colts and the Steelers face off. Check local listings. It begins with JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on NFL Today. Former San Jose State legend, a head coach with Randy Cross back in the day, 1975. Dick Vermeil. A team joined by Gene Blameyer, who, Randy, you had a chance to visit with before the game today.
He was in the booth here earlier. Head athletic director at San Jose State, doing a nice job there. Yeah, that was the Rose Bowl winning team, actually, matter of fact. Beat the #1 team in the country, beat Ohio State that year. Made friends in Oklahoma forever. Made them the #1 team in the country.
Noah Copeland in at fullback here. Do you still keep in touch with many of those former Bruins?
Quite a few. Quite a few. And Dick Vermeil is, in my mind, the greatest man I've ever met in sports.
Copeland gashes to the 46, depending upon the spot. That should be good for a first. Christian Tongo on the tackle.
It's real important now for Navy. They've given you an opening. It's kind of like banging a boxer. Eventually you hit them in the ribs, the hands drop. Well, San Jose State's hands now have dropped. And it's up to Keenan Reynolds, this offense. You're going to get a chance to start finishing a football team off if you do it right.
Fake the toss, go to the up man. Belowy Vi, up take down Swain. And here are some other legends from San Jose State, some big names. All with NFL ties. Bill Walsh, tight end, defensive end.
How about Steve DeBerg rocking that fro, huh?
I'm very jealous.
Jeff Garcia now working up in Canada with the Alouettes. Also a 49er quarterback for a good while.
On some Bay Area pride there. Reynolds. He has duped this defense, it seems, all day. Ricidi on the tackle. That's nearly a first to the 45.
And he's done a nice job of absorbing some hits, too. Watch him come around the corner here as he gives a little okey-doke, heads up the field, and bang, from the inside, here come the linebackers and the safeties. They lay a pretty good lick on him and keep him from the first down.
3rd and 1.
Now, is this the quarterback follow play again?
Just mash it right up the middle with Swain instead and get the first. But there's little doubt that Keenan Reynolds, if he's not 100%, he's darn close based upon his performance today and that contact you speak of.
Well, if he's not 100%, he could see it from there. I mean, nobody's really 100% during the regular season, but I guarantee you he feels better in this game than he has in any game since he's played Ohio State in the opener. There's Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator for San Jose State, trying to change things up and stop this offense.
The pitch. Sanders getting some blocks near the edge. Akeem King gets the tackle. When we spoke to Greg Robinson this week, he downplayed the difficulty of facing the triple option. He said with the volume of zone read in today's game that you face some derivation of triple option almost weekly.
And I would agree with him in that they see a lot of hand fakes. They see a lot of different motions. You're seeing an artist in Keenan Reynolds in this offense right now. There is a big difference. I think after this game, he'd probably agree with you.
Reynolds keeps again. Chipped down by Vince Boisjour at the linebacker spot. Gets to around the 25.
Yeah, that C gap again in the same place. It's not real complicated. Just go right there. That's where you got to go. That's where the hole's going to be. Watch him fake. There it is. I mean, before he even gets done with the fake from that end zone look, you can see the size of that hole opening up.
He's now just 11 yards shy of his career high for rushing yards in a game. Spreads the wealth here, going to the fullback. They get the first down. Reynolds having a tremendous day. That's what he's done. That's what the rest of the team has done. He ran for 240 last year against San Jose State. That's his career high and the 3rd highest total in program history. Randy, at this point, it's very possible the program record could fall. 273 by Chris McCoy in 1995.
Yeah, for a quarterback. And McCoy's got 5 200-yard games.
Reynolds keeps. Taken down by Boisjour. So Navy in the red zone. Today's red zone numbers brought to you by Verizon. 3 touchdowns in 4 trips. You'll take that, right?
Yeah, it's below the bogey. You want 67. But in this game against this team right now, as methodical as this offense has turned into, methodical in the second half and big play and fast-paced in the first half.
Second down run by Copeland. Pounds to about the 13. So they'll need about 1.5 yards here.
And this is playing right into Navy's hands when you repeatedly get 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Navy up 31-17. We're through 3 at homecoming in Annapolis.
It's not just about football.
You represent everyone that came before you and everyone that will come after you.
We're a bunch of hard-working guys. We play with a chip on our shoulders.
We're representing all the servicemen across the world.
We just love playing the game.
Midshipmen doing the school proud today, 31-17, leading San Jose State. Welcome on back to Annapolis. Thank you for making college football part of your day on CBS Sports Network. John Sadak, the College Football Hall of Famer Randy Cross. A resurgent day for Keenan Reynolds.
It really has been, and this offense has shown really two personalities. First half, big plays, big hitters, really exciting. Second half, methodical, and this drive here almost has the look of a live autopsy. They're just taking the defense apart for San Jose.
I'm not sure if I should feel more morbid or entertained. 3rd down and 2. Reynolds. He's been keeping it most of the day, and Navy gets another first down. Today's first down line brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union.
Navy back in the red zone again. 3rd quarter red zone. That meant touchdown.
Noah Copeland into the fullback position. Toss. Big block. Touchdown, Navy. To Brandon Sanders. Excuse me, Damon Brown on the block. And Sanders with the score.
Watch this speed play this way, and there is nothing on the outside for this defense. Excellent play call by Ivan Jasper and perfect execution. Who's going to make a tackle? Well, nobody. There's nobody inside in that defense that was able to get out. They were blocked. And on the outside, that's corners and safeties. They're not big enough to deal with that kind of football.
Austin Greavy remains perfect on his place-kicking duties. And Navy breaking away. A 12-play, 64-yard drive took nearly 5.5 minutes. And Navy gets the score on the toss. Sanders for 6. Navy up 21.
Brett Stover in New York. Texas Tech scores 51 seconds into this game, but Aaron Green and TCU, they answer. 62-yard run. Tech has added a field goal. Stay tuned. It's a shootout. 10-7 early on in that one, guys.
Well, thank you, Brent. That Big 12 has been rather topsy-turvy. I'm not sure among the Power 5 conferences if we've seen more volatility than the Big 12 in particular in the last week.
The Big 12 and the Pac-12 have both been kind of defense-optional conferences. Epitomized by that TCU-Baylor 61-58 thriller.
You blow that kind of a lead in the 4th quarter.
21 points in 11 minutes.
Meanwhile, it's a 21-point deficit 4th quarter for San Jose State. Tyler Urban, a dynamic return man, one of 10 active in the FBS, with 4 or more touchdown returns on punt or kick from his 5. Urban angling with blockers, a stiff arm out of bounds at around the 30. Here's how Navy extended its most recent advantage. 12 plays, 64 yards, and Brandon Sanders got it down to the ground for the TD, but Keenan Reynolds, the conductor.
Both these drives in the second half, just methodical as heck. Just going and going, not hurrying to the line, not rushing the snap. This is the kind of offense that Reynolds and company, when they run it, can just be deadly, especially when they have a lead.
Carr in motion. Play fake to Irvin. Gray finds Wilson. And so Wilson gets the first. Taken down by Meyer Craw around the 46.
Think about how much you've seen the ball pressed down the field. We've seen Joe Gray throwing primarily 5 to 10-yard passes most of this game, maybe 15. You play this Buddy Green defense, they don't let you throw over the top, but they aren't stretching them at all.
Ball on the deck. Gray forced to run. Does get positive yards to the clutches of Paul Quisenberry for about 1.5 yards.
You got a quarterback, he's looking at the coverage, he's looking at the defenses, and suddenly it's a bad snap at his feet. It's a heck of an effort to recover it and actually get something positive out of it.
Second down and a short 9. Gray looking deeper to Crawley for a first down. Crawley had that crazy touchdown grab when he refused to be tackled.
Really nice job by Crawley. Very accurate by Gray. But watch Crawley concentrate, sees the boundary, gets the feet in, and rolls out of bounds. Seemed like that sideline wasn't as close as he thought it was. Otherwise, he could have cut that ball up the field.
On the ground, Irvin. Tackled on high. That's close to another first. Quincy Adams with the hit. Armed Forces Football proudly sponsored by Northrop Grumman. His Armed Forces team facing a 2nd and 1 defensively.
Don't know if it's too little, too late. This possession may do it.
Irvin hit hard, and he will not get it. Loses about 1/2 yard. Let's go check in with Brett Stover in New York for an update.
Over on CBS, opening drive for Mississippi State. Dak Prescott goes 5 for 5. Josh Robinson pays it off with a touchdown. They lead Kentucky 7-0. Back out to John, Randy, and Sheep.
Thank you, Brent. #1 team in all the land.
Yeah, I agree with Christian Foyer. Dak Prescott's the guy to beat right now in that Heisman Trophy race.
False start here on a 3rd and 1. Could be costly for the Spartans.
Part of the snap. False start offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Nate Velichko. Remember, each guard, including Velichko on the right side, are redshirt freshmen.
And this is the point of the field, you know, for Coach Carriger. You don't want to help them stop you. You've moved the ball very effectively down the field. You need a touchdown in this possession, preferably a quick touchdown.
6 for 11 on 3rd down today. Nothing. Gray on the keeper. Tyler Goebel was in there for contact. Buddy Green getting a stop.
A little bit of confusion. The ball gets pulled. Once that ball is pulled out and Gray's got it. It's like bees on honey, the defense all over him.
4th down, no choice with the deficit in time. Here comes the pressure. Crawley's got the ball, and Crawley's got the first down as they convert. Quazell Bertrand with the tackle.
There's a nice job of converting that ball from a snap to a pass. Get the snap, get it in your hands, sit, get it out, get it into a little slant pass right in the middle. Remember, that's the play earlier in the game. Gray threw behind Crawley. Crawley couldn't catch it. Put it out in front and was able to run with it.
First and 10, Crawley now on the sideline. Looking left side, Gray rolling. Gray, incomplete. Closest target, Andrew Vollert, the tight end. A.K. Akunku, giving some pressure in that backfield.
Yeah, Buddy Green's defense has done a nice job of rotating pressure. It's been a pretty consistent group from the standpoint of they've used 7 or 8, and they're just spinning them through.
Second down and 10. Quick hitter inside of the 10. Tyler Winston, we haven't seen him a whole lot. He's their top receiver by a lot in receptions.
And that's the kind of play you want to get your top receiver. There's an example of a little bubble underneath screen with all the blocking that's happened in front of it and cuts underneath, takes advantage of some blocking by the offensive lineman. Third and short, this is 2-down territory. You don't want a field goal here.
Crawley in motion. Irvin, a soft counter to the 6. Chris Johnson with the tackle.
That'll set up a first and goal. And we've seen Crawley, but the other receivers have had it too. If you spread this Navy defense out horizontally around the side to side, make them defend the whole field, the slants are there, especially down here in these short areas.
They're going big, though, bringing on Shane Smith and Chris Dadson. A hybrid tight end H-back like personnel. And it looks like we'll get a timeout from the Spartans. So San Jose State calls timeout with 9:04 to go in the fourth quarter. Buddy Green's defense has not yet broken on this drive. 38-17.
Brent Stover in New York. Kentucky is dangerous. Patrick Tobes and DeMarco Robinson. Look at the move he puts on the defender. 67 yards. Hey, Bulldogs and Wildcats 7-all over on CBS. Back out to Randy Cross. John Sadak and Sheehan Stanley Birch.
Well, thank you, Brent. Two teams that have been in the same conference together since 1895.
How about that series? Who'd have guessed that Kentucky leads a series 21-20 between them and Mississippi State?
There's some down years for Mississippi State. Yes. Could you have forecasted? You knew Ole Miss and Mississippi State would be good.
No one outside of that state saw this coming. Not this good, not number one. And how Mississippi State handles being number one is probably the story of that game going on right now.
Story here. Will San Jose pay off this drive with a score? It's first and goal after a Spartans called timeout. On the ground. And nothing for Irvin, thanks to Tyler Goebel, who's been in on many of the tackles in the last 10 minutes of game time.
Yeah, head coach Ron Carragher called that last time out for San Jose State. He came off the sideline pretty hot about his guys not lining right up. Well, they got their formation, they got their play, and Navy read it just perfectly.
Second and goal. Gray on the roll to the corner. Incomplete. Looking for Tyler Winston.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of a play that really was. There were only two receivers on the formation, both to the right side. But look to the pylon where the flag is. He had an open receiver. The receiver is there. He just overthrew it wide and high.
So third and goal. They've already converted on fourth down to get to this point on the drive.
They get two plays here. They're not kicking a field goal.
Bit of a low snap. Gray wide open, end zone touchdown. Hansel Wilson, his third touchdown catch of the year.
Yeah, excellent job. They've got 4 receivers on this play, 3 right in the same area. When you see the ball caught, look, receiver to the right, receiver in the middle, another receiver over to the left. And the receiver in the middle was wide open. Good design.
Austin Lopez, the point after. Out of the hold of Daniel Bradbury, that's good. 38-24. Took some time, but San Jose State gets another score. Fourth quarter action, Wilson from Gray. Navy leads San Jose State. It's homecoming in Annapolis. Keenan Reynolds, last couple of games against San Jose State, those are season-long numbers for many quarterbacks.
That's not a bad weekend. You split it up into 2 days. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. And what he needs right here, more methodical. They need more Keenan Reynolds. Like Mississippi State needs that cowbell, they need more Keenan Reynolds.
Put the pants on one leg at a time?
No, I don't care. You can pour him on. He needs to run.
San Jose State setting up for an onside try. This is the first attempt of the season onside for San Jose State. Navy's dealt with it once. It was not successful. This one goes to Calvin Cass. Did not go the requisite 10 yards either. And Navy's got the ball.
I'm not sure. When you're going against an offense, you really haven't stopped. That may come across as being a tad desperate, but if you kick it to them, they're probably going to hold it for 6 minutes.
And they only have 1 timeout left as well, do the Spartans.
Yep.
Today's first down line brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. First down on the San Jose State side of the 50.
Yeah, whether you're on their 45 or your 10, you need to be methodical here. Run your offense, get it in chunks, hold on to the ball.
Reynolds keeps inside of the 40, and Navy now over 400 on the ground today. Vince Buhajur on the tackle. Boy. Here are the numbers for Navy.
Dial them up.
403.
If you had 403, you're a winner. The only thing I'd be concerned of there, you saw at the end of that play, Reynolds kind of ducked his head for contact. He's got to keep that head up. He's taking blows on the top of his head. That can be dangerous.
Quentin Singleton now the fullback. Reynolds keeping it again. Nearly to the first. Christian Tongo with the tackle. And more time works away for this Navy offense.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing when you get behind this team and they go into slog mode, which is basically we're going to make first downs, we're going to stay inbounds, and we're going to just devour the clock. Makes you do desperate things. You take chances, and they're smart football players. You take a chance, they'll make you pay.
Keenan Reynolds, career day rushing the football, 245 yards. The up man Swain gets the first. And let's put that in perspective, by the way. His previous career high, 240, set against San Jose State last year in triple overtime.
So in basically what amounts to be 5 quarters, time-wise.
Here we are with 6.5 still to go in the fourth. Reynolds closing in on 250. How many teams average 250 yards rushing a game?
In major college football, probably about 15, 20.
Swain to the 23-yard line. Morris McKnight with the tackle.
You see a big ball of bodies in the middle. Perfect time to give the ball to the fullback. Because that big ball of bodies, mainly guys in white jerseys, there's no one there to really challenge Swain. All right, spin it. Spin it. What do you got?
I feel like I'm on a game show. 4:19.
It's Friday night. The lottery numbers are coming up.
You're not going to leave if you win, are you? Reynolds. Not much there, but he still gets enough push that with this spot, it looks like he has a first down.
And look at just the mental side of that. Could he have pitched that ball to the outside? Probably, and gotten easily the first down. But then also you threaten to take the ball out of bounds. And Kenny Montalolo and his offensive staff have drilled into these players' heads how to play the ball smart and how to play option football when you have a lead.
Right into the gut. Quentin Singleton. Led by Faloe Pai. Remember, the Navy did not play last week. Bested a bad FCS team at VMI the week before that. A win against an FBS program, and a good one, too. A San Jose State team that could be looking at a bowl possibility.
Well, they came in with a 3-3 record, did San Jose State, and could have been a lot better. Their record could be, potentially. This is a very good win because Ron Carriger's football team is thinking bowl.
Reynolds works more time, earns his way to the 18.
And this is a situation where it's smart. You keep taking this time. Look at San Jose State. They're reacting better. They're reacting faster. They're attacking the option. Might be a little too late. But from Navy's standpoint, a field goal's just fine here. And you add that to the time, the 3 minutes plus it's already come off the clock.
Turn down to the fullback to the 15-yard line. Cedric Losi took down Quentin Singleton. Offense remaining out there, though. 4th and 5.
You gonna try to get him off? They're just going to run the clock down, run the time off the clock, then call a timeout, and then kick the field goal. Play clock's down to 4.
There it is. Timeout, Navy. So Navy in prime position as things stand. And odder things have happened at times, but this margin with this amount of time feels certainly very comfortable. Still to come for Navy, though. How about a trek to Landover, Maryland on CBS to face Notre Dame on November the 1st, a good Georgia Southern team that's leading the Sun Belt. South Alabama on the road, and Army-Navy.
Yeah, Georgia Southern, too, is going to be a look in the mirror. They are an excellent option football team, but they got to worry about the Fighting Irish. And after you saw what the Irish did last Saturday against Florida State, they are an all-day sucker.
Austin Greavy on for his second career field goal. It'll be a 32-yard try. Many of these Navy players told us they were watching that Florida State Notre Dame game.
Well, how impressive were the Irish at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's what I'd be worried about if I was Navy for next week.
Now Aaron Taylor won't be upset with you. 32-yard try at a Beltran's hold. The kick good. Greavy 2 for 2. Navy's got 41 points and 427 yards rushing. A top 25 showing in program history. 41-24.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. By Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
Welcome on back to Annapolis. Navy with the lead over San Jose State. The most explosive day for Navy this year in points against FBS competition. The man who has stirred that drink, we take a look at our Northrop Grumman aerial performance of the game. What an effort by Keenan Reynolds.
Yeah, he's done most of it on the ground, but he's lifted this offense well off the ground with his rushing performance. Almost single-handedly gutting this defense of San Jose State. What a performance coming back from some disappointing performances earlier in the year. This will make it a lot easier to sleep tonight, and he'll be plenty tired.
Career high 251 yards rushing.
About 39 rushing attempts.
He's been wearing it today. Irvin from his own one. Fell just beyond the 20. So Reynolds, who has roared back in a sensational way, wears a well-deserved smile. You could feel the pressure that was placed upon him. There was Heisman hype entering the season.
You know, and rightfully so. This is the team I thought had a chance, and other people said had a chance to win double-digit games, could win 10 games, and had some problems. Most of their problems were self-created. Fumbling, penalties, very un-Navy-like in that regard, but they've got a chance to salvage this season and do some special things. Next week, easily the biggest challenge of the year, obviously.
That's when the Irish come calling. Joe Gray finds Carr. Aided out of bounds by Kyle Battle. And it is a significant schedule. Ohio State, Notre Dame, a Rutgers team that's been humbled lately in Big Ten play, but remember they lost their best weapon offensively here in Annapolis.
Yeah, Georgia Southern dominated FCS, always in the playoffs, constantly. Now coming into the Sun Belt and doing a heck of a job now leading that conference.
Lost late to NC State and Georgia Tech. Gray finds his tight end, Billy Freeman. Finds a first down to around the 34.
And these passes all very predictable against a Buddy Green defense. Buddy Green loves to keep everybody in front of him. His defensive backs play things. You throw short passes, he does not allow you to go deep.
Irvin. They're getting 10 yards a pop. Chris Johnson with the tackle. But this is more window dressing than anything else.
More than likely. You know, get a quick strike here. Could make a bit of a difference, but you're looking at being down by 17 points, 3 possessions in 2 minutes.
Carr out of bounds near midfield. Thanks to Ted Colburn, the sophomore out of Northport, Alabama.
And stranger things have happened, John. If one team relaxes, the team with the lead, you'd be amazed. I've seen some strange things happen with about 2 minutes to go in a football game.
They go empty. Irvin in motion. Only a 3-man rush. Gray loads up. Over the middle. Into the red zone inside of the 15. Andrew Vollard, the redshirt freshman out of San Francisco, taken down by Parrish Gaines.
Yeah, very nice job by Gray. Deep safeties. Instead of challenging the safeties, he splits the safeties. Nice accurate throw.
Quick first down throw. Inside of the 10. Vollard yet again brought down by Jordan Drake. San Jose State 3 of 4 in the red zone. Of course, the miss. That was a pretty big one. Low snap. Gray on the ground. Irvin goes in standing up. 1:24 remaining. 41-30.
Now, when you get to this this onside kick that's going to come up, and this play is set up, excellent blocking up front. They did a good job. Now you think onside kick. You get the extra point done. Remember the last one that went boink, boink, and just right into the hands? That second kick, the second bounce, has got to go straight up in the air.
Snap, spot, Lopez's kick. Good. 7 plays, 79 yards, took 1 minute 42 seconds. And it's a 10-point tilt, 41-31. Football still to come all the live long on CBS Sports Network. Inside College football, followed by Temple at UCF, a huge game in the American. Last year featured a dynamic one-handed grab for a touchdown, pair of Blake Bortles' pass, and then a field goal as time expired, led UCF to victory. Temple, led by Tyler Matakevich, the man whose helmet injured Keenan Reynolds' knee, remember, earlier this season, and was tops in the nation among freshmen and tackles his first year.
That guy looked like a linebacker.
As a nose for the football, each team with hands units out there currently for this onside try, the second of the day by the Spartans.
Remember, get this ball bouncing. Very important, second or third bounce straight up in the air. 1, 2, never gets a chance.
Yet again to Cass. He had the recovery on the last onside try in a similar spot.
Yeah, this is actually pretty simple stuff for Cass. He's right there. 1, and never gets a chance to get back on the ground. That ball's got to go bang, bang. It's got to kick and then kick again. And you kick long enough. I've seen some of the veteran kickers. I mean, they can make that ball do some weird stuff. And they've got a lot of time to practice it.
This is what Keenan Reynolds has done against the Spartans this year and last, closing in on 500 yards.
Rushing, thank you.
Reynolds hasn't taken a knee in some time. This Navy team that exchanges a handful of handshakes at the line of scrimmage for Ken Niumatalolo. They dealt with a losing streak the program had not endured since 2011. Dropped 3 straight to Rutgers by a score. Western Kentucky 36-27. And the emotional gut-wrenching at Air Force.
They had a week off and they can rededicate themselves to finishing this season off the right way. This will bring them to 500, 4-4.
For San Jose State, Ron Carragher's team got just 6 wins last year, did not go bowling. He has set a personal benchmark, believing they need 7. They'll have a chance to do that again next week on CBS Sports Network when they host Colorado State.
Absolutely, and they just could not figure out this Rubik's Cube at times that is the triple option. I know Greg Robinson said, hey, we see a lot of stuff like this. Well, right now there's no option offense like this one.
One of the better days in the history of Navy football on the ground. And it leads to a 2-score victory. Ken Niumatalolo's midshipmen take down San Jose State. 2 coaches that respect one another quite a bit. 2 teams that share in that respect.
Both offenses, at least in the first half, moved the ball effectively. The sort of shift of Navy to the methodical mode, I think, put as much pressure on the San Jose State offense as the Navy defense did. And they seemed to be acting like they were a little more desperate because they knew they weren't going to have many possessions at this rate.
And while the line certainly does its job in creating holes, Keenan Reynolds took a lot of contact today, showed some creativity, some solid decision making, and overcame that difficult early turnover to have one of his better days of his career, and certainly perhaps the best this season, right?
Yeah, well, his first play will be something that he may talk about more than the performance, knowing him. But discounting that, it's as good as we've seen him play, easily. His best performance of the year.
A tradition after each game for the alma mater.
There's a smart quarterback down there with his tight end and lineman.
They take care of you,
the Navy,
take care of them.
Blue and Gold.
The Navy blue and gold, the alma mater here at the United States Naval Academy, and sung in celebration after a victory.
And Ken Niumatalolo has to be proud of his midshipmen and really happy with the way that they handled the bye week and really have set the tone for this second 5 part of their season.
It won't get much easier next week when Notre Dame comes calling, but a chance to enjoy victory today. A smile on the face of the head man. And the player who made it all happen is downstairs with Sheehan Stanwick-Birch, quarterback Keenan Reynolds.
Thanks, John. Well, it's nice to finally see a smile on your face. You look back to your old self. How'd it feel out there getting the win in a career record-breaking day?
It was nice. Hats off to my teammates. Guys up front played hard. Guys are unselfish. B-backs got us going, and we executed. Had a little mishap in the first play, but after that we executed, and I'm proud of my teammates, proud of the defense. Kept those guys out. I think that's a good offense, even better defense.
You personally have had such success against this team. Why do you think that's so?
I don't know, honestly. I just go out and play, take it one play at a time, and let the rest take care of itself.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheehan. An outstanding showing by one of the nation's more explosive quarterbacks. That's going to wrap things up for Randy Cross, Sheehan Stanwick-Birch, and our entire crew. I'm John Sadak. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We'll send it now to our New York studios. It's time for Inside College Football.